Hello. How are we today? That's good. One positive thing that came out of the election cycle was that, so when we do our midterms and regular presidential elections, I believe as well, we have, like, each state will have stuff up on the ballot to go, like, either onto the Constitution for the state or just a step off the Constitution for the state, things like that. Little amendments and stuff here and there that the state, like, people get to vote on, that we get to vote on. And this midterm, Kentucky had a full abortion ban on the docket, to make it part of the Constitution of Kentucky that abortion is illegal regardless of circumstance, regardless of time, regardless of, regardless, full ban. And surprisingly, Kentuckians voted against it, and I was actually really happy about that. There's still a pretty strict regulation for it there, but it's not completely banned, and it's not been added to the Constitution that abortion is completely banned. So that's really good. And that's, Max and I talked about it a little bit yesterday, as we were going in to vote for the Tennessee stuff. Nothing that big was on the ballot for us. No, there was no full abortion bans or anything on our ballot that we had to vote on for Tennessee. But I mentioned that while, yes, a good portion of Kentucky is Republican, a very large portion, a lot of Republicans also support the right to choose to at least some extent. Like, a lot of Republicans believe you should be allowed to get an abortion if you're raped or, a victim of, like, incest or something like that. Like, or if for medical reasons, like if your life is in danger or something. There's a lot of Republicans that believe in a few exceptions to the rule, and this ban was going to make it illegal for any kind of abortion, for like, it was going to block every type of abortion that you can have, every reasoning for it, as part of the Constitution of the state. So I was like, maybe there will be enough Republicans that believe in some exceptions that won't vote for this. And then, of course, very few Democrats are going to vote to make it fully illegal. But I was fortunately correct. Thank God. Yeah. We voted even though our vote really doesn't make a difference in this state. As blue voters, it doesn't really matter who we vote for in our midterms and stuff because it's so red here. But we did it anyways because voting for, like, constitutional amendments and stuff can actually make a difference. So, and also we get some blue representatives here. We have a couple, just like in Kentucky. There's like one or two. So, I don't have any clue how any of our election stuff has turned out. Other than that, I only know about the abortion thing in Kentucky because Max sent me an article on it this morning. So, Max is not here currently. Max is at work physically. So Max has not had the opportunity to tell me how shitty everything's gone. Plus, I'm sure that Phil DeFranco tonight will give us a good update on that as well. It's not been posted yet, but I'm sure he will probably wait a little bit later for the day than normal while they count votes and stuff. So yeah, abortion is definitely a big turnout reason, but I think of all the polls I've seen, it's not the top 5 reasons that, like, the top 5 political things that people are concerned about right now. So, you know. It's definitely an important one, though, because, it probably pushed a lot of people to go out and vote the overturning of Roe v. Wade. Hopefully, at least in states where, like Kentucky, they were trying to ban it completely as part of the Constitution. I believe California, there was one state that wanted to add abortion protections to the Constitution. I think it was California, unless they already had those as part of their Constitution. I know there's been a couple states that have added to the Constitution that you will have a right to an abortion, even even if it's just these circumstances, as part of the Constitution, and those are really hard to change. Like I said, any changes to state constitutions have to essentially go through a vote by the populace. So, not seeing a turnout percentage yet. Not sure if they can calculate that on the fly. I have no idea, to be honest with you. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I mean, yeah, our elections affect the whole world, so generally our elections for the president affect the world more than just our elections for our representatives, but they can still affect the whole world, which is unfortunate, because us, the U.S., and y'all, the U.K., are both kind of in the shitter right now, so, you know, it's definitely not great that our both of our countries' outcomes for political things are so ripply effective throughout the world. It's bad when the UK is stooped to the same level as us over here. That's not it's not ideal. You think he's competent? That's good. I don't know enough about him to make a judgment call, so I just know he grew up rich and is stupidly wealthy, so that's literally all I know about him. And that he's not white. That's all I know about him. Him not being white apparently was a big deal, so... is he the first not white prime minister? Am I thinking of the... Is that incorrect? Or is he the first, that's true. That's definitely new for them, so... Probably. Indian heritage, yeah. So I knew it was at least the first, one of Indian heritage, the first brown prime minister, but I wasn't sure if he was just in general the first prime minister of color, which it wouldn't surprise me. In terms of having leaders of color, the UK and the US are both pretty shit about it, so especially main leaders, like smaller leaders like representatives and people in the House of Commons and stuff, not as much, but the main leaders, yeah. Yeah, and then you had whatever that was for, what was it, 45 days or something? Very, very short. I think Phil said that she had, or it was Phil or John Oliver, I can't remember which one, said that she had the shortest reign as prime minister after some dude, and that's only because he died. Because he died, I don't know, like a couple days into his like serving. He just died, and so he's got the shortest tenure, but she has the shortest tenure of those who are still alive, or those who survived their tenure. Which I think is funny. No. I'm gonna go back to work tomorrow. It's been nice to kind of actually feel like I had a weekend this week. Like, it's only 3 days of work this week instead of 4, so that's nice. It felt good to feel like I actually had time off, which I did not feel like I got last week. And on the 4-day weeks, I usually don't feel like I actually get any time off, because it feels like as soon as I've like even started to recover like physically from the week, the next week starts up. Whereas at this point, my body is basically recovered from last week, but I'm still tired, obviously. But I wish you would stop all the protests. What are y'all protesting about over there? I'm genuinely, I have no idea. So I feel like we're on motorways. Just stop. Oh, just stop oil. Right. I forgot that was y'all over there. The people that keep gluing themselves to paintings and shit. I mean, if they gotta do that, they gotta do that. I support striking, personally. Sometimes it's the only way to get things done, is for all the workers to go on strike. It's all still a mess. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure it is. I think the motorway, the trains here had almost went on strike, or maybe it was y'all that almost went on strike recently. I think it was us that almost went on, like our train people almost went on strike here, which would have been really bad for the economy. Like genuinely terrible. Like it like the collapse of society could be caused by the train conductors and train workers and stuff like that going on strike and refusing to work, because despite how much we transport via like semi-truck these days, we still transport our most important stuff on trains. So it would not go well. It would not go well at all. I was saying earlier in a YouTube comment section, it wouldn't surprise me if World War III was to happen in the next 10 years. So much authoritarian uprising around the world, and power plus economic issues. Both were major factors in Germany starting World War II. Yeah, it kind of feels like it's going that way, doesn't it? Between Russia threatening to nuke places, all the shit North Korea's been doing lately, how many fascist dictators there have been that have been taking power, and how many have threatened violence and stuff because they're losing their power. It just feels like the whole world is kind of in turmoil right now. Whether it be small turmoil like what we're dealing with in the States over here, or big turmoil like what I believe it's Iraq. Is it Iraq or Iran? Is it Iran? I think it's Iran. Iran is dealing with right now. It's Iran, right? God, my memory's ass. Pretty sure it's Iran. So if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to Google it because I Yes, it's Iran. It's Iran. Okay, good. I was pretty sure it was Iran. I was like, I'm pretty sure. Yes, that's all the what they're dealing with over there is the police, the like they've got like some stupid name, like the police that like go around and tell you to cover your body up. Killed a woman in custody because she wasn't wearing her hijab correctly. And that started this whole uproar and uprising that had kind of been brewing for a while anyways. And that was like kind of their last straw. And so countless people have been protesting that shitty ass government they have over there. Protesting and striking and fighting and for their rights, cutting their hair off, burning their hijabs and their head coverings. And there's lots of men that are also protesting there as well because they're also tired of the regime that has been controlling all of their lives for so long. It's really impressive to watch because obviously we've not had to do that over here in a very, very, very long time. You know, I hope the best for all those over there. And I know a couple others, women have died in the same way that that first woman did, whose name I'm blanking on at the moment. You'll have to forgive me. Names are not good for me. So it just, the protests are still going, which is impressive that the government hasn't shut that down. Like they haven't started just mass murdering all of their citizens yet. They've murdered quite a few, and they've arrested quite a lot, but it doesn't seem like the people there are ready to back down. It seems like they're tired, and that this is about more than just that woman's killing. It's about everything that they've been dealing with for forever, and I hope for the best for them. Genuinely, I do, because I can't imagine the kind of strength it takes to go out and fight against a government that will absolutely lock you up in a prison akin to fucking Azkaban, if they don't kill you, that is. I can't imagine having to do that. That takes a stupid amount of bravery and strength that I probably don't have, let's be honest. So, Middle East fucked, China and Taiwan fucked, Europe fucked, US hanging on until the government can't hide the financial issues anymore. I feel like we've all stopped caring about the financial issues here. We've kind of just accepted them because what else are we going to do? We can't fix the economy. The economy is going to crash after COVID regardless. There was nothing we were going to be able to do to fix that. If we hadn't have done the stimulus checks and stuff, it would have crashed during the pandemic, harder than it did, that is. So the stimulus checks were absolutely necessary to get us through the pandemic, and now it's dipping very aggressively post-pandemic. Even though the pandemic's still not over, there's still like 1,000 people dying every single week, but whatever. But most people consider the pandemic to be over, despite the fact that that is not true. You know. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that the Democrats lost the House, which is unfortunate. Not surprising, sadly, because that's what everyone's been predicting, but I don't know that for a fact yet, but I'm going to assume that based on a few TikToks that I saw this morning. Max will let me know when they get home what the state of everything is, so it's going to be a very slow crash, everything gradually getting worse. Yeah, it's not going to just like, it's going to go down real slow. Gas prices here are stabilized, at least in Tennessee, they're fairly stabilized at a fairly reasonable price. Depending on where in town you are, it can range from just over $3 a gallon to about $3.50 a gallon, depending on where you are in town. And also, because like there's a gas station over near the Amazon warehouse I work at that is routinely 20 to 30 cents cheaper than the gas station near my house. And so I usually will try to fill up over there because I have to fill up like once a week from driving back and forth and all the traffic and everything. And it's usually just significantly cheaper over there. It was like $3.05 when I left work last week, and the gas had sold out because it was so cheap. 305 or 307 or something like that. And then I got back to this side of town, it was 345. Max and I just filled up at the Kroger gas station using our fuel points, and using the fuel points we had 40 cents off per gallon, so we paid $3 a gallon, which is not terrible. That's pretty typical. Before the pandemic, before everything started going to shit, that's about what it would have cost around here. So at least here in Nashville, the gas prices have mostly stabilized. Now, I can't speak for the rest of the country or any other part of the world, but here it's stabilized to a reasonable price for Nashville. So, at least in my opinion, it has. They've gone down over there too. That's good. What's up, Christian? No worries. I'm not able to stream nearly as often these days because of work, so it's even harder to catch up. So and catch a stream because there's so few of them now. But I appreciate you dropping in. Hope everything is going all right over there. Yeah, I won't be surprised if the Republicans take the House either. It won't. I'll be completely unsurprised. All right, should we do some Reddit now? Now that it's been a half an hour. It's kind of cold in my office today, which is really bizarre. Usual random chat on a Reddit stream. Yeah. Plus, you know, we usually have a bit to catch up on because of how much time passes in between each stream, so. Phone screen, why did you turn on if there's no notifications? I don't understand. All right. Before we jump into the Reddit, I wanted to say, I've been putting like this protein powder stuff in my smoothies so that I actually get some calories out of the smoothies. Since I actually burn calories at work now, I have to start eating a little bit more food and a little more calories, so I don't lose a bunch of weight. Because I burn a pretty, at the bare minimum, 2,500 calories a work day. That's the minimum. That's like a short, simple, easy work day. I burn that many. And if it's a hard, heavy work day, I burn about 3,500 to 4,000 calories. So, you know, I've had to start eating quite a bit more and paying more attention to keeping my calorie count up so I don't just like go back to super, super duper skinny and unhealthily skinny like I used to be. I want to lose a little weight, but not like enough to really qualify as losing weight. You know what I mean? Like 5 to 10 pounds at the most. But I've ordered a energy powder that I want to also put in my smoothie because clearly I am exhausted at all times. So it'd be nice to not only get my protein and some calories out of my smoothie, but also little bit of energy and caffeine. That would be nice as well, to just do it all in one drink instead of having my smoothie and then drinking an energy drink. Like, that's a lot of work. Simplify it. It's supposed to get here tomorrow. The powder I ordered. It's supposed to get here tomorrow, so we'll see how it works. Probably the day after tomorrow. I need to reduce my weight, but food tastes good. Yeah, that's one of the upsides to having a physical job is you're essentially getting paid to exercise, especially at my job, because the work I do does not require brain power at all. Like, the barest of bare minimums of brain power isn't required. Like, you have to be able to tell what numbers are. I think that's it. You have to be able to read numbers, and that's about it, brain-wise. And then everything else is all physical, so, yeah. Let's see if I can do the math here, because the way because my Fitbit obviously calculates from midnight to midnight, so it cuts off halfway through my shift. But on a day where I've got, like, where I finish a shift and then come home, go to bed, come back and start a shift, I usually get about over 20,000 steps in the day, sometimes 24,000 depending on what I'm doing. So, yeah, it's a lot. It's no wonder why my feet hurt like crazy after a work day. So, yeah. And then on days that I'm at home, I get very little. I have 700 steps. I've been awake like an hour, so that hour and a half, but I probably won't even reach 3,000 steps today. Yeah, on days I don't have work, I don't do much because I'm so exhausted, so, you know, but it be how it be. Okay, now we can do some Reddit. I remember those days when I used to work at the garden center, 20,000 minimum. Yeah. I'm not really sure how many steps I get in like an actual like 12-hour shift. I just have to base it off of the days where I end up working 12 hours in a midnight to midnight schedule because of how my Fitbit counts it. Because obviously it resets the count at the start of the next day. It doesn't know that my next day doesn't start at the same time as normal people's. So, at least I get to sit a lot in this job so I don't notice the high step count. Yeah, there's no sitting at Amazon unless you're on break. So, just thinking about it makes me tired. So, okay. Break a leg, honestly, it feels like that's what's necessary. Honestly, most of what I do, I couldn't do if I broke my leg. Like, you do have to stand to do a lot of the stuff. You don't have to stand to do all of it. like Amazon seems to think you have to be standing 24/7 to do your job, but, sorry, I'm texting people at the moment. I'm popular all of a sudden. Let's see. Okay. Am I the asshole for allegedly being ableist? I am a single, mid-30s guy who's part of a decent-sized social group. Another person from this group that I don't know well, Laura, approached me at a get-together and said she has a friend she wanted to set me up with. I'm not opposed to being set up, but Laura and I don't really know each other well, and I'm not so socially outgoing that going out with just anyone is especially appealing. I said I wasn't really sure, trying to politely decline. Laura said she was told I've been set up before, and her friend is great, etc. I was doing the whole I don't know thing, trying not to be too brusque with a flat no, and hoping she'll pick up on the obvious lack of interest and stop putting me in this uncomfortable situation. Instead, Laura said that she wants to tell me about her friend, Kim 30s, and started giving me a quick rundown of her attributes, interests, which were really all indoor activities, seeing illegitimate out. I tell Laura that Kim sounds nice, but I'm really more of an outdoorsy person and would prefer that in a potential partner. For a little background, I have a piece of land, foster rescue, I don't care. I point out this lack of shared interest, and Laura responds that maybe Kim just needs to be given the chance to learn if she's an outdoor person, and I could show her that side of things. At this point, I probably should have firmly said no, but Laura's argument struck me as odd, so I said that I think someone Kim's age has a pretty good idea if they're an outdoorsy person or not. Then Laura then kind of hesitantly said no because Kim is in a wheelchair. I tell Laura that I'm sure Kim is great, but if I was to find someone, it would have to be someone who is interested and able to be part of the life I am living and trying to build. It doesn't sound like Kim fits that. Laura said that I'm a horrible person for not even considering meeting Kim because she's in a wheelchair. I don't think this is ableist. If you are genuinely an outdoorsy person and a person who is, whether they're disabled or not, very much an indoorsy person, that's not gonna work. Like, I'm sure Kim and I would get along because my bitches don't like to leave the house either. But I personally don't like to date people or even really be friends with people who like to camp, mountain climb, scuba dive, although I want to try scuba diving, hiking. I don't like doing any of that stuff. This person said I spend as many daylight hours as I can outside doing this or that. I literally avoid that at all costs. I do my best to stay indoors when the sun is out. So I don't think this is ableist. I think this is just, he should have just told Laura to fuck off and say, I'm not interested in going out with anyone right now. Thanks, though. It should have stopped way earlier than that. I don't think it's ableist to not date someone because they're not active. I don't think that's ableist. Whether they're not active because they're disabled or whether they're not active because they're like me and they don't want to be active, I don't think personally it matters. I don't think this is an asshole move. This isn't because I think she's a bad person. Our lives are just, and interests are not compatible. Yeah. And it just be like that. I don't think this is an asshole thing. Not the asshole. I bet people harassing you are getting an incomplete story from Laura. Explain simply, Laura wanted to set me up with someone. I said no. Then she told me the person uses a wheelchair. A wheelchair. My answer remained no. Yeah. Not the asshole. As a wheelchair user, being outdoors can be hard in a wheelchair unless you buy the really expensive kind that lets you go off-road. Anyway, you said way before you were told she was in a wheelchair you were an outdoors person and she's indoors. Doesn't mean you are saying no because of the wheelchair, but you enjoy different things in life, and that is fine. I wouldn't be happy if people were saying on my behalf it's because they're in a wheelchair, not because we don't share the same hobbies. Yeah, that's another thing, is if he's telling us the story correctly and he didn't know this, that Kim was in a wheelchair until after he'd already said no, then how can it be ableist, you know? Just to add, a note to add on, I see a good number of people saying I should assume that Kim is not outdoorsy because she's in a wheelchair. I never assumed that. Laura listed off her interests and hobbies, and none of them were based on outdoor activity. Additionally, I do understand that folks in wheelchairs can and do spend quite a bit with certain accommodations outdoors. However, a lot of things I have in mind involve mountain climbing, rock climbing, backpacking, etc. These things are that inherently aren't really accessible to folks in a wheelchair, and ultimately I am really only interested in finding someone who would like to do at least some of these activities with me, which is absolutely fine. It's totally fine. Like my friend in school does mountain biking. Way too much risk for me. Yeah, absolutely. Mountain biking is crazy, man. I am wheelchair bound myself. I think you were being as tactful and polite as possible before it was revealed Kim was in a wheelchair. You have your interest, passion, and goals well established. They were communicated in advance. On the flip side, I absolutely would not want to be set up with someone who was into physical activities that I couldn't participate into to the fullest. It would require someone having to make a very significant sacrifice. My marriage ended over less sharp distinctions and someone's inability to accept one person's limitations on their life. It creates a divide that can't be crossed sometimes. See, I might work a physical job, but when I'm not at work, I am lazy as fuck. I don't like to do things. So dating someone in a wheelchair who also doesn't like to do active things would not be an issue at all. So, you know, you know, it wouldn't affect me at all that they can't walk or get up or move around or whatever reason that they're in the wheelchair for, because I also don't like to get up and do things. Yeah. Also, the suggestion that he is the one to show her outdoorsy things would automatically set up an uneven dynamic. Exactly. If I, well, and actually, no, I'm not even going to try to put myself in a wheelchair. Me, as I am right now, would not wish to be shown the outdoors by someone who has actively spent their whole life outdoors, is very physically fit, is very good at all the outdoorsy things. Personally, I would feel very intimidated by that, as I am not good at any of those things and don't like doing any of those things. So I even imagine putting that pressure on someone to do for someone who isn't even physically capable of attempting those things, you know? Like, at least I can stand and climb if I really, really tried. Like, I could probably be coached into learning how to mountain climb if I really wanted to do it. But someone who can't walk or stand at all or for very long, there's lots of different reasons people use wheelchairs. Like, that just seems, that, like this person said, this is a very unfair dynamic to put people into. So I'm good with it as long as I can easily control myself. I don't really have any upper body strength, so that makes climbing very difficult. But again, that's something I could work on, as well as like full body strength in general. I don't think it's ableist because he said no before he knew. "45 minutes and I was knackered." And the indoor climbing wall. Yeah, we had to do a climbing wall at one of the things at the little like fun camp thing that we did before college with the honors society or whatever the fuck it was called. You know, and getting to the top of that wall, I did one wall and I was just like, I got to the top of that wall very slowly, very much all of my limbs on fire. This was also pre-T, of course. This was like 6 years ago. This was like right before starting freshman year of college. And I got up to the top of that wall and I was dead, man. I was completely dead. Dear God. No, outdoorsies is not. It's not for me, man. Not the asshole. You didn't know why Kim wasn't outdoorsy. when you turned her down for that reason. It wouldn't be fair to you or her to try and set you all up when you clearly don't share very many interests. We had typical ones, but there were others that barely had any handholds and were flat bits of plastic that could be rounded. Nah, bouldering, man, I could never. People who boulder like that are gods. They're just gods. Oh my god. So I'm trying to do like 3 things at once, guys. I'm so sorry. But seriously, people who like rock climb on a regular basis, who do bouldering, are literal gods, and I could never. It's psychotic what they're capable of doing. Ah. Interesting. Very bizarre. Interesting. I think the Tetris one looks good. That one seems fun. Give me a second. The rounded, oh yeah, this one here, that looks terrible. This looks like no fun at all. That looks terrible. That doesn't look like fun at all. It looks pretty. All of these together look really cool, but this does not look like a fun thing to have to climb. Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess. If you, I guess. I don't know if I'd be motivated to touch them at all, but like these ones, like how do you do that? The wall slants backwards. I know there's like there's tactics to it to make it doable, but some people will just climb that wall in 10 seconds, and I'm like, how you are a god. Ooh, another Kim, guys. We've got another Kim. Okay. Am I the asshole for telling my daughter she can cook herself now if she doesn't like my cooking? It's a weird way to title that, but okay. It's called grip strength. It's not just grip strength, though. As you know, you have to full body strength is required to climb walls like that. Grip strength is obviously very helpful. It's a very important aspect of strength to have to do rock climbing and wall climbing and stuff like that. But you have to have a strong core. You have to have strong leg muscles, arm muscles, grip strength, like all of it. Your whole body has to be strong to be able to be really good at, just good grip strength ain't gonna do much for you. So, because you gotta be able to pull yourself up, All right. I assume this means telling my daughter she can cook for herself if she doesn't like my cooking, but it's typed weird, so we'll have to assume. I, 40 female, have a daughter, Erin, 16. When Erin was 10, me and my ex-husband Mike divorced, and he moved to a different city for work. He would come and see Erin a few times a year, and sometimes she would fly out to see him. As I am the only adult in Erin I normally cook for both of us and occasionally for my boyfriend when he is over for dinner. I am not a health freak and mostly try to make filling and nutritional meals with cheat meals once or twice a week. I also try to make meals from different cuisines at least once a week. A few months ago, my ex-husband moved back to our city alongside sorry, that reminded me about some food stuff I needed to send a message about. Sorry. I also try to make meals from different cuisines at least once a week. A few months ago, my ex-husband moved back to our city alongside his wife, Kim, 32. Erin was happy about it as it meant she could see her dad more often, and we have agreed that she can stay over at their new place over the weekend and holidays if they don't have other plans. I've met Kim a few times and she seems lovely, and I trust Mike to look after her. I assume she means the daughter. However, since staying with them, Erin kept talking about what a good cook Kim is and how tasty her food is. And when I asked her what she is having when she stays, she mentions a lot of Asian and Asian-inspired dishes, which I have no issues with, since when I went through a phase of eating a specific cuisine for a few years when I was younger, too. So I have tried making more Asian-like foods at home to keep Erin happy: ramen, pad thai, different grilled meats, kimchi, etc. However, no matter what I make, new or old dishes, Erin would say she doesn't like them and they don't taste good. I've tried cooking her favorite meals and desserts from before and get the same reaction. Over the last 2 weeks, it got to the point where she would refuse to eat anything I cook and would rather go and stay with friends or have food at Mike's place. I got tired of this, and when Erin came back, I told her if she doesn't like my cooking, she can cook for herself and do her own shopping since she knows how to cook, and we have a large supermarket 2 minutes down the road from us. Erin got upset and went to her bedroom to pick her clothes and is currently staying with Mike. Mike and my own parents called me to tell me I'm being unreasonable and an asshole since Erin is my daughter, so I can't keep starving her. I don't think I'm being an asshole here since my daughter refuses to eat anything I make. However, I would appreciate a second opinion. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Like, I mean, you said your daughter is 16? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if she won't eat the food, that's on her, so, I was asked out of this post, the food is always available in the fridge if it's not eaten by the time she goes to school. Me or my boyfriend just eat it for our lunch ourselves and make something new for dinner. Plus, there's always snacks, cereals, different sides, fruits, vegetables, and in the fridge cupboards where she can help herself. I don't think this is assholey. This is probably true. She's just trying to compete with her ex-husband's girlfriend. Yeah, I think so. That seems what it's like. I agree with this comment here, saying that she probably gets a bit more spoiled at your ex's home because it's all new. For sure. I think that's definitely what's going on here. So, no, not the asshole. So let's read the update. I just wanted to post an update and a somewhat closure. The past few weeks have been hard, and I think Erin has seen my post. So she came back home accompanied with her father and Kim. She has apologized for her actions and said there was nothing wrong with the food I made. It just she preferred Kim's cooking at the time. But after living with them for a bit, she realized it was not that special. We sat down and Kim gave her perspective as she runs a local restaurant. When Erin was staying over, originally Kim would make restaurant quality dishes that she would serve to the clients, and a lot of times they use more and stronger spices or different and more expensive ingredients, depending on the dish, and sometimes MSG to enhance flavor of sauces. When Erin moved in with them and not just coming to see them over the weekend, Kim switched to making similar dishes but in a more domestic style. So probably that's why Erin didn't like mine and homemade Kim's meals, as they had less spices or sauces. She also explained this to Erin. Erin seemed to be very excited, so I have asked her if anything happened. She said that Kim allowed her to learn some cooking at her restaurant when it's not too busy, and she asked if I'm okay with this. I was relieved and told her I'd be happy for her to learn, but also warned her that she might get too stressed with all those after-school activities. If she wants, she can drop some that she doesn't enjoy. I've also suggested her to cook for us a dish she learned, maybe once a month, to see how close it would be to restaurant level. We have also agreed to have some cooking days where me and Kim share and exchange our secrets and techniques when cooking, and Erin is free to join in. That's good. Yes, a very good outcome. Very good outcome. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to do like 3 things at once. Apologies. Okay. No, a gnat. Why? It's been so long. Yes, for once not to get in the bin. They worked it out. It seems like things went well. And that one comment was correct. The daughter was getting spoiled with extra cooking. Extra fancy cooking. Okay. Ooh, this sounds spicy. Am I the asshole for not introducing my daughter? Well, I guess it's a would I be. Okay. Would I be the asshole for not introducing my daughter to her biological mother? My daughter is 11 female. Her biological mother is 29 female, Erica. Sus. My son, 33 male, got Erica pregnant, who we knew as... What? My son, 33 male, got Erica pregnant, who we knew as a daughter of a friend, and she decided she didn't want the baby. My son didn't want the baby either. We offered to financially help Erica out if we were able to adopt the baby, as we'd always wanted another child. Okay, so your daughter is actually your granddaughter because it's your son's daughter. But you adopted her, so it's your daughter. But biologically, it's your granddaughter. Okay. We paid her rent for 2 years while she went to college, cut to 11 years later. I'm lost. It seems... the author of this post's son had a child with Erica. Erica did not want to keep the child, so the son's parents, aka the author of this post, said, we'll take the child and we'll adopt the child, and that's why it's called my daughter, because I'm going to assume this is a guy, he adopted the daughter, so the daughter is, it's his daughter. But because the daughter is the product of the author's son and the son's partner, it's actually biologically the author's grandchild. Did that help at all, or is that just more confusing? We unfortunately have a poor relationship with our son, as he doesn't want to be involved with our daughter, but we see him and text him frequently enough. He visited us and told us Erica had asked to see our daughter. My husband had told her when she was pregnant that we may allow contact, but honestly, we don't think that's best for our daughter at this stage. It'll be confusing and upsetting. I told her when our daughter is emotionally well enough, we'll tell her, but right now she's going through therapy for anxiety. My son thinks I'm an asshole. Erica has a 2-year-old now and said she could even imagine how our daughter will feel when she does find out that Erica has a family. My son and Erica both believe I'm the asshole, but not only that Erica's parents that I've known for over 25 years are now refusing contact and insulting us to common friends saying they allowed the adoption, but Erica has a right to know her daughter. Nobody had a problem 3 years ago when we went through this. Erica contacted us then, and we shot her down, telling her that we weren't comfortable until our daughter was an adult, but now suddenly everyone is losing their minds. I think if you haven't informed your daughter that she's adopted this whole time, that makes you the asshole. I don't think it's fair to keep it from a kid that they're adopted until they're old enough, because that kind of realization, speaking as someone who has never experienced this, of course, has got to be world shaking, of a realization to find out. And so I feel like just knowing that from the start would make it a lot easier. Knowing that, we adopted you from a woman who wasn't able to take care of you at the time that she had you, so you're with us now. You're our child. You're our daughter, but you are adopted. And having that be the baseline throughout their whole life, letting them know they are loved and that they weren't, just given up because they weren't wanted, and that if they ever want to meet their biological parent, that you can do your best to do that, assuming the adoption process you went through allows for that. There are some that do that where it's no contact, because the biological parent of the child doesn't want to see the child. But in this case, it seems it was a more of a here, take my child, hands child to person situation. I think that is not the correct way to go about it. Waiting until they're old enough is not the right way to go about it, especially since this kid already has anxiety at 11. So, because saying, oh, we'll wait until she's old enough, you'll say that over and over and over and over again until they're 18, 19, 20, and then you tell them, and then their entire life crumbles around them because you've been essentially lying to them their whole lives. Because I'm sure that's what it feels like. That's what I've been told it feels like anyways, is that it feels like your parents have lied to you your whole life. And that's just not acceptable. So I think telling sooner than later is better. So I think if Erica is ready for contact, I think you should allow that. Your kid's already in therapy for something else. So if she needs to talk about this in therapy, she's already regularly seeing a therapist. So she can also talk about this with her therapist, If your child wasn't in therapy, I'd be like, y'all need to put her in therapy and also let her see her mom, her biological mother. I don't think this is you're an asshole, but I do think it's not okay. I don't know if asshole is the correct term here. I don't think you're being an asshole, because I do think you have your kid's best interest in mind. It does feel that way, but you're also incorrect about what their best interests are, but that's not necessarily your fault. You know what I mean? I don't think asshole is the correct designation here, if that makes any sense. Especially when you're at the age that if you really put your mind to it, you can run away and live very poorly by yourself. Yeah. At least when they are younger, it's harder to do that, thus allowing them to come to terms with it. Exactly. Plus, it's like kids who grow up with gay parents just understand that people can be gay because they're exposed to it all the time. So I don't know why I'm searching it right now. I'm a dumbass. It's not going to give me the correct drive time right now because it's fucking 4 o'clock in the middle of the week. So, but it's essentially the same concept as kids who grow up with gay parents understand that gay people exist far earlier than people who don't grow up with gay parents. So it's not like a change to their worldview when they find out that people can be gay because they've known that. So the same can be said for knowing you're adopted your whole life and knowing that it's not a bad thing to be adopted. It's not your fault that you were adopted. You know, understanding those things from a young age will make it easier to comprehend, understand, and come to terms with than finding out when you're 13, 14, 15, 16, and so on, when you're already dealing with other shit like puberty and whatnot. Like, that is not the time to find out that you're fucking adopted. You know what I mean? Okay. Yeah, I'm texting, sorry. This chick at work gave me her number, told me she thought I was attractive, which doubt, but okay. And so we've been chatting and setting up a movie date tonight, so not really a date though, because it's going to be them and all their roommates. So they've not seen Everything Everywhere All at Once yet, which is just a crime against humanity. And I've yet to rewatch it, which is also a crime against humanity. So I'm going to go over there and take it and all that. Oh yeah, I have access to it on my site, and it's been on my rewatch list for a while, and I just haven't done it because I'm dumb. My elusive site, indeed. Okay, let's see what the comments have to say about this. Originally, I was going to go with not the asshole told her that your daughter doesn't even know she's adopted. That's an important fact that every adopted child should know from the beginning, even if it was originated from a bad situation. Trust me, as an adopted child, if I were to find out I was adopted years down the line, I would be pissed. It's better to tell her now before some serious resentment kicks in. Get her into therapy too. We all have to do things we don't want to do, but you're leaving out a pretty big part of your daughter's life. At her age, it's going to rock her world regardless. Yeah. Yeah, and her biological dad is her brother, who visits frequently. OP is not just withholding information that's straight up lying to the daughter. These families both know each other and / were friends. How long did OP think everyone keep this secret before it blew up in her daughter's face? Yeah. Happened to my great-grandmother. She was raised by her father's parents, but never knew until way later in life that they were her grandparents, not her parents. See, that too also makes this even more like of a mind fuck when you find out that your parents are actually your grandparents, and that your brother is actually your father. The sentence alone is enough to make you have an aneurysm, so... We did? What do you mean we did? An aneurysm. Yeah. When we first started reading this post, it was like, ooh, this sounds juicy. Potential for red flags? Potential for red flags? Ooh, juicy. My fiance, why did I say it like that? Hello? Am I alright? Am I the asshole for saying my fiance's sister doesn't belong in my bridal party? My fiance and I are engaged and recently chose our wedding party. My bridesmaids are my two closest friends, and his groomsmen are my brothers, one being his best friend, and the other he has known just as long and has been like a big brother to him. My fiance has a younger sister. She is 4 years younger than him and is a cancer survivor. That has shaped their relationship too. His parents favor her, spoil her rotten, and expect everyone to follow suit, and she uses that to her advantage with people. I mean, if people spoil you because you have cancer, like, I think you've earned the right to use that to your advantage. You know what I mean? Like, you don't you survived cancer. You can use that to your that's like hard to do, you know what I mean? Like, I would use it to my advantage. The fuck? Like, I survived cancer and I don't get to use that to my advantage? What? What was the point then, you know? Especially if other people decide to spoil you because of it. Like, that's not your fault. Getting cancer also isn't your fault, you know? Like, unless you got cancer from smoking your whole life, you know? Like, my fiance has admitted sometimes he hates her, that when he says no to something and she throws the cancer in his face, or accuses him of wishing she had died when he won't even do a simple thing. Okay, that's taking it a little too far. I meant, like, pulling out the cancer card to, like, I don't know, park in certain parking spaces and maybe get an extra gift from your, like using the cancer against your parents, totally valid. I feel that's completely valid. Using it against your siblings, though, feels a little weird. Or accuse him of wishing she had died when he wanted to do a simple thing for her. He's not estranged from his family, but he's not very close with them either. He does blame his parents for what happened and has a lot of resentment towards them because he was mostly ignored as a kid due to her being sick, and then was expected to treat her like a princess. He said his parents ruined her and gave him a crappy childhood. When we talked about our wedding party, he had mentioned not wanting the sister in the wedding. I respected that, especially since, to put it bluntly, I don't care about her at all. We never hung out or anything. Sounds to me like the parents shouldn't be coming either because, you know... Sounds like the parents are pretty shit too as well. Yeah, it does sound like it is up to him, it seems like, since she doesn't care. Apparently she was waiting once she heard we got engaged to be asked to be a bridesmaid, and my fiance's parents were also. No invite came, and I was personally called by all three and asked about it. I told them I had not planned to ask her, that I was having my two closest friends. They said she's family, though, and important to my fiance. I told them she wasn't close to me, and they were asking me to include her in my bridal party, where she does not belong. They called me an asshole and told me I should be making more of an effort. They also told me that nobody belonged in my bridal party more, and I think otherwise made me sound like a bully, and after all she's been through, too. No, it sounds like you're protecting your fiance, to be honest. Your fiance doesn't want her there, and so you're staying firm to that, and saying you don't want her there. I think your fiance could step up and say he also doesn't want her there, instead of having you take all the blame for it. But if you're down for taking all the blame for it, then go for it. You know what I mean? I feel like in this type of situation, I would take the blame for it as well. Like, if I'm already not close to the sister, like, it doesn't matter if she doesn't like me. Whereas, like, if keeping that relationship is important to him, you know, I doubt he's avoided saying it. Yeah, maybe not. Why not? USPS, I swear to God. I hate USPS so much. What do you mean delivery attempted? This is a different package. This is a different one. Drop it at my door. What's so hard about that? This is a different package. No, they still have not delivered the two other packages. The Max's package and my package. They still haven't delivered those. We haven't heard any updates about those. Despite the fact I had my redelivery date scheduled for Monday. Never heard about it. Never heard from them. Unfortunately, USPS ran into an issue when they attempted your delivery. They will try again. So what Max has said is that apparently people haven't been picking up their packages from the. We do have a porch. We have a door with. You can just throw it in front of our door. It's not hard. But USPS delivers to the mailboxes, which are not near our apartments, like the apartment door or anything. It's like they're all isolated together, right? It's so annoying. And apparently people haven't been picking their packages up out of the like bigger boxes that are over there that they can put larger packages in. So when they get there and they can't put that there, they don't just bring it to your door like that would, because that would make sense. So I don't know why they don't do that. Instead, they just take it back with them, and then you never fucking find the package again. And it's super frustrating because they sent me a link to reschedule a delivery date and give extra instructions as to where to put my fucking package, and they never even attempted another delivery. I don't care they don't get paid enough. I don't care. That's not my fault. That's not my problem. I paid, especially for the package that I haven't had delivered yet. I paid for that delivery. I paid for the shipping. I paid for all of that. I paid money for that one. That wasn't an Amazon package that I ordered. Same for Max's package. They paid for that shipping. Like, when you pay for shipping, I expect that shit to come to my door. If an Amazon package gets lost, it's not that big of a deal because Amazon will just send you a replacement. But when USPS or FedEx or UPS loses your shit's just lost and you can't do anything about it. And it's incredibly infuriating, especially when they're literally down the street holding our package, not able to put it in the fucking drop box. And instead of, like, I don't know, bringing it to my door or, I don't know, shooting me an email saying, come pick up your package right now or I won't be able to deliver it to you today, I would leave my house right now. I would polish all and I would fuck off. I would drive down the street and get my package right now. If they told me, hey, we can't put this in your mailbox. If you come right this very moment, we can hand it to you. I would drive down there and do it so they don't have to come find my apartment. But they don't do that either, even though my number is on file. Like, there are just so many better ways that this could be done. And it's upsetting because I needed this specific package today. But also, it doesn't say what the issue was. It just says, delivery attempted at 3:42 p.m. Unfortunately, USPS ran into an issue when attempting your delivery. They will try again. What does that even mean? Mailbox was full. Yeah. Even though when we were up there yesterday, or the day before, whatever it was, when we were checking the mailboxes, they were all empty. Like, all of the, like I said, the bigger boxes, like, they'll put the key to that box in your mailbox, and then you can use that key to get your bigger package. All of those ones were empty. All of those bigger boxes were empty. It's so annoying. Although usually when they're delivering Amazon packages and it says they will try again, they usually try again the next day. So I'm not going to worry too much about this one. But the other one that I literally haven't even heard about, the one that's not an Amazon package, and also Max's, which is not an Amazon package, the fact that neither of us have even heard an update on those packages is incredibly frustrating, because Max's specifically is not a replaceable thing. They ordered it from Philip DeFranco during one of the drops, and after the drop is over, they don't sell the merch anymore. So if that gets lost, that's just, we can't replace it. Whereas at least the shit I ordered can be replaced. So are people just ordering large packages for Christmas this time of year? I guess, but like the boxes that they put this stuff in isn't big enough for like really, really big packages, you know? Like those have to be delivered to the door anyways. So why the fuck, if there's not room for my slightly larger than these tiny little mail slot that I have for normal envelopes, like this could fit in the mail slot, right? Like this is about as wide as the mail slot is, and then it's like a box. It's like a square box, so it's like, you know, this tall, this long. So it fits in most just random normal mail, but it doesn't always fit every package. Also, you could shove that package in there. The package I ordered that was supposed to get here today are hats. You could shove it in there. You could just shove it in the hole. It would fit. Assuming they didn't ship it in a box. The other package that I received today from Amazon shipped that one to me directly on my front porch when I woke up this morning. Also hats. Why? I don't know why they ship some of it through USPS and other of it through themselves. I wish they would just never shove it in the hole. Yeah, shove it in the hole. it goes in the square hole. And I wanted these hats today because I wanted to try them on, so maybe I could wear one of them to work tomorrow. But I only have 2 of them because for some reason the order was split up. So I ordered a bunch of shit through the try before you buy thing on Amazon. So it shipped in 2 separate packaging. I ordered 5 hats and 3 pairs of shoes on the try before you buy thing. And it shipped 1 pair of shoes by itself and then the other 2 together, 2 hats together, and then 3 hats together separately, in different packages. I received 2 of them today, but the 3 I was most interested in are the ones I did not receive today because they shipped it through USPS for some reason. Yeah, but that's the problem with trying to go pick it up at a USPS site, is you don't always know which one it's at, and I really don't feel like driving all the way around the city to find out which one it's at. I would just like it if they would just deliver the package. And they used to just, leave them on the floor outside of the mailbox, which they're not supposed to do, but, at least then it says my package is delivered, and you could say it was left in the mailbox, so then I can go over and pick it up off the ground. But, you know what I mean? But the thing is, with the other package that was not an Amazon package that they failed to deliver, they gave me the option to schedule a redelivery. So they let me pick a day for them to try to deliver it again, and then I haven't heard about it again. And I can't pick up that package until they attempt the redelivery and fail that again, and then I can schedule a pickup location. Same for Max's product. Max scheduled a redelivery as well and hasn't heard another damn thing about it. It hasn't been delivered. It hasn't attempted to be delivered. There hasn't been a cancellation of the redelivery. We haven't gotten any updates on those, so we can't even schedule a pickup because we don't know where the package is. And it's super frustrating, and I know USPS does not get paid enough, but this is really annoying. You know what I mean? It's just frustrating is all. It's very frustrating. And then there's one package that I have that's shipping through UPS from Amazon. Which one was that? Which one's the one shipping through UPS? For the other shoes. No, was it the Mikasa? It was the Mikasa. My Mikasa was being shipped by UPS, so it did not arrive on time. It did arrive, but it arrived late. So, because UPS is never on time. So, why can't Amazon just be the only shipping company? I know monopolies are bad, but Amazon's the best at it, so I don't know what to tell you. If for them to deliver it to my door, I had to tip them extra money, the USPS drivers, I would do that. If you can't fit it in my mailbox, come to my door and knock until I answer the door, and I'll hand you some cash. Thank you for making the extra effort. Here's, $3 or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just really annoying. Especially because around the holidays and stuff, you're trying to get shit on time. And while I understand there's a lot going around, a lot of packages and stuff around this time of year, believe me, I know better than most people, as I have to work extra hours due to that. I don't care about the fucking environment. The environment's not going to die because the Amazon delivery driver drove to my house specifically to hand me one package. That's not going to kill the planet. Okay? What's killing the planet are large factories and stuff pumping thousands upon thousands upon thousands of units of pollution into the air every second of every day. That's what's killing the planet, not the random Amazon Prime driver who drives my package to me at 7 in the morning, okay? It's not them. It's not the UPS drivers. It's not the USPS drivers. It's not the FedEx drivers. It's not the DHL drivers. It's not them. It's the companies that pump all this shit into the air and then try to blame it on us. Then they try to tell us that we need to reduce our carbon footprints when every individual on the planet could reduce their carbon footprint and it would barely make an impact because of how much companies pump shit into the air. So, during the pandemic, a lot of places got better because no one was driving. And the main reason was because a lot of factories shut down because they couldn't have workers there because of the pandemic. So, there were some countries that were having clear skies for the first time in a lifetime because there was no more smog in the air because the factories were all closed and there were no more cars on the road and things like that. And quite frankly, if the Earth is going to kill us all because of the way we have treated the Earth, so be it. Okay, doesn't sound like a me problem. If I die, I die. But I want my Amazon package on time. I want my packages delivered on time, or at least delivered in a more smart way. You know, like, it's not even the fact that this package has shown up late. It's not a big deal that the package I ordered showed up late. That's not a big deal. It's not like it was a gift for somebody. Same for Max's thing. It's not a big deal that it didn't show up on time. That's not an issue. It being late is not the problem. It's the fact that I have no fucking idea where it is right now. That's what my issue is. My issue is it is lost in the ether somewhere, and I have no idea where that is. That's the problem. Is the package may not even still be in Nashville anymore, for all I fucking know. You know, like, because they've not updated me on its location. And that's the bit that's frustrating to me. Obviously, yes, I'm frustrated that they won't just, like, I don't know, bring the package to my door, but at least I understand the reasoning for not doing that is USPS has a lot of shit they have to deliver, and they can't go home until they finish their route. So stopping to bring my bitch ass my one fucking item when they don't know where my fucking apartment is makes sense. But at the same time, they could also just drop it at the leasing office on their way out because they have to drive past it to leave anyways. But they don't do that either. Like, especially during this time of year where there are lots of people ordering packages. If you can't fit it in my mailbox and none of the other mailboxes are available, leave it at the fucking leasing office. Like, yes, the leasing office closes early, but I can go to them tomorrow when they open again and pick up my package from them. And then USPS doesn't have to worry about it anymore. Then they only have to make one stop and drop all of the packages there. The leasing office doesn't care. They've had that happen before. They have that happen with really, really massive ones that USPS can't take to the door. So why don't they just do that? Then it's up to me when I can access my fucking shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's really frustrating. Because, like I said, the leasing office is not out of the way for the USPS delivery driver or any of the delivery drivers to exit the apartment complex. You have to drive past the fucking leasing office. So it wouldn't take any extra time, really. It wouldn't really cause any extra gas to be expended into the sky. You'd have to get a few more steps in to walk up the few stairs it takes to get in the door. But then you drop all of it there at the door, and then the leasing office takes care of it and notifies us that they have our package. Because they can shoot us all emails. It doesn't take them very long to do that. So it's very annoying. Because there's just so many more easy ways. There are just so many other ways to do it that make more sense and are easier. So, but I guess that'd be too easy. Because they can also tell us how the package was delivered. Like, the package will say, left in mailbox, left on front porch, left at front desk. You could say it was left at the front desk, meaning the leasing office. Because anyone at this apartment is going to be like, what front desk? We don't have a front desk. The closest thing we have to a front desk is the leasing office. So that's the logical thing that makes sense. But they don't do that either. So it's just very annoying, if you couldn't tell. I find it very frustrating. I'm not making a reaction video to your video. Leave me alone. Yeah, I'm not going to show you the email, but I'm going to read it to you. Thank you for using USPS.com. This is a reminder for your redelivery request. Your package will be redelivered on 11/7/22. It is the 9th, and I have not had an update on this package since I got this email. They did not attempt a redelivery on the 7th, and if they did not let me know that they tried. But in my delivery instructions for the delivery request, I requested that they leave it at my front door, whether I answer the door or not. It's not a package I need to sign for. Leave it at my fucking front door. Okay? when I had them deliver my PS5, I made them wait for me to, like, I made them hand it to me or Max because it was so expensive, you know. I tweeted at them on Twitter. I tagged them. I tagged their helpline. Haven't heard back. It's just really annoying. And, like, I understand I order too much shit. I get that. But it's still frustrating. A direct complaint. I mean, it's going to get there eventually, especially for Max's package. I don't really care that much if the package that I'd ordered, that I scheduled a redelivery for, it's not a huge deal if that package gets lost in the ether. Yes, it cost me $50, but it's not a big deal. I can buy another one. But I'm mostly concerned about the package Max ordered because there's things in there for me as well. So if that gets lost forever, we've both missed out on things that we paid for that we can't buy again. So it's just really frustrating. Or you let them know, the less likely it will be to get lost. Yeah. I was hoping that maybe they just missed the redelivery date and they were going to try it yesterday. They didn't. I haven't heard from them. They clearly didn't try today. It's just really fucking annoying. If no changes are made, your mail will be delivered to the address below. It was not. And it's annoying. It's very, very annoying. Honestly, it's getting to that point. Like I said, especially for the package Max ordered, the Philip DeFranco stuff, because we can't reorder that. We can't just reorder it and pay for it again because they aren't selling it anymore. So it's really annoying, and I really, really, really want that poster that is in that order because it is really cool. It's a really cool poster, and it was like $20, $30, and I really want it. I want to put it on the wall in front of me so I can look at it every day because it's absolutely spectacular, and I love it. I don't really give a shit if they lose my other package. It's not that big of a deal. I'll order it again. But it's just annoying. I'm really tired of having USPS, UPS, and FedEx deliver shit. Just give it to Amazon. Let them do it. Because they never let me down. And when they do, they replace it for free. So this is what happens when you fund the delivery. When you fund the people doing the delivery, they actually get it done. That's the problem with the USPS is they are federally funded, meaning they aren't funded shit. So, you know. I love that this link doesn't even work, bro. I don't want to file a claim. I want to file a complaint. When I put in the tracking information for my package, it says redelivery scheduled. Processing at destination. What the fuck does that mean? Oh, I don't understand. Customers requested the Postal Service redeliver this item on November 7th, 2022. That date has passed. That date has passed. It's scheduled after being sorted at the final depot, I guess. But how are they going to deliver it to me on the 7th when it's the 9th? Because also they had, like, it wasn't like I scheduled it for the next day. I scheduled it for Monday. They attempted it on, like, Thursday or Friday, and I scheduled it for a Monday. So, because they wouldn't let me schedule it for the earlier days, so I scheduled it for the earliest day they would let me, which was Monday. And I have not heard a damn thing since. I have not heard a damn thing since. And that's really frustrating. Now, if I hadn't scheduled a redelivery date and I was just waiting for them to try again, I'd be a little less frustrated. So, yeah. I'll have to get Max to do the same for that package because I want Max's package more than I want mine. So, you know. What time did Max say they were leaving work today? I don't remember. 5:30. Okay. So we still have some time. Good Lord. Max and I order a lot of shit from Amazon, so. And it almost always gets here. No problem. Sometimes it'll arrive a day late, but that's not a big deal. No? Never noticed? Never noticed what? Oh, that we order a lot of shit? Yeah, I know. I hide it well. You like my Mikasa? She's not broken this time. Third time's a charm. She's all in one piece. Beautiful, amazing, fabulous. Okay. Am I the asshole for telling my mom I refused to fix a problem she and my stepsister created? When I was 15, my then 19-year-old stepsister had a baby. She was still living at home at the time and didn't know who the dad of her daughter was, so my mom and her decided I would need to babysit every day after school until someone else got home. This went on until I turned 18 and moved out of my mom and stepdad's house and in with my brother who was the same age as my stepsister. My stepsister and I were never sisters. We called each other family or had a relationship. We never called each other family or had a relationship built on anything, so I never regarded her as my niece. I never planned to be an overly involved figure. After I moved out, I saw her 3 times in the past 6 years. I did not have a strong attachment to her, and I certainly never considered her like my own. But my mom and stepsister have hyped me up to her. They have told her all these stories that are simply not true. Stories about me cuddling her to sleep and how I used to call her my little baby, how I adored her more than anyone else in the world. My mom had taken a few photos of me and her that she had staged at the time. They show her those as if they're moments my mom had walked in on, so she had been waiting for this aunt figure who considers her their own child. And when we saw each other 3 times this year, mostly focused on the fact I was having a baby, she was incredibly jealous and angry. Last time I was at my grandparents' house, my partner and I were focused on our baby, and she was very emotional trying to grab my attention. This is when what my mom and stepsister had been telling her came to light. She accused me of replacing her, of my baby stealing her place and trying to push her out. She said I used to do all that stuff with her and now I didn't, and it wasn't fair. She asked my stepsister to get me to do that stuff for her again. After some questions, it came to light what she was talking about. She wanted me to dedicate myself to her the way she had been told I had. She wanted me to put her before my child. My grandparents told my sister to leave, and after some arguing, she did leave with her daughter. They then asked my mom what the hell she'd been thinking, and what happened from there is my mom called after everyone else had left. My grandparents told me I needed to talk to my stepsister's daughter and help them fix the hurt she was going through. I told her it was not my job to fix a problem she and my stepsister created. My mom told me it was about a child, not about them, and I was not being very compassionate. This sounds made up. I don't know what it is. Just reading that didn't feel legit to me. So. Kind of boring, actually. How dare you? It bored me. What do you want? Am I the asshole for not paying for my stepson's boyfriends to come on vacation with us, even though I'm paying for everyone else? I, 52, married my wife, 49, when her son was 1 year old. His dad had not been in his life consistently, and his mom and I, have paid for his life. We bought him his first car, paid for his education, we've been there for him. It's our 25th anniversary coming up, and I'm taking my family to Hawaii to renew my vows. I have been saving up for 10 years to do this for my wife. That's a long time. I have a daughter, 28, from a previous marriage. I am paying for her and her boyfriend to come. My wife and I also have a younger daughter, 21. We're paying for her and her boyfriend to join us, as well as my mom and stepdad and my mother-in-law. The problem is my stepson. He is poly. He lives with a woman and 2 other men. I love the kid and love his life, and his love life is none of my business, but he wants me to pay for all 4 of them to come. I told him to pick one. I don't care if he brings his girlfriend or a boyfriend, but he only gets 1 extra guest. I said they were absolutely welcome to join us and that I would give him the money for the 2 tickets and hotel room, and he could figure out how best to get them all there. He called me a cheap asshole and said I was excluding him because of how he lives. He's a waiter and doesn't make a lot of money. The other people in his relationship are lower income as well. I honestly thought I was being fair. Now he's saying that he won't be coming, but he still wants the money I would have spent on 2 tickets and the hotel. I told him no, and now he's not talking to me. My wife has said that I should give him the money, but that isn't what I saved for. Am I being an asshole? No, you're not being an asshole. Everyone else only gets 1 guest, so why wouldn't he? Max sent me a message. What's up? He clearly wants to waste it all. Yeah, seems like it. I don't think you're being the asshole. I think it's fair that all your other guests get a +1. He doesn't get a +3 just because he's fucking 3 different people. So, stepson is seriously entitled for expecting more than a +1 and for demanding the financial equivalent of a trip he turned down. Yeah. I'll go instead if you want to take me. I know this was 14 hours ago. I'll go in this place. And I'll come without a +1. And now I'm texting Max. All right. Facebook, you don't need to notify me that I have a message when I have the Messenger app open. I don't know why it does that. That's so annoying. I wonder if I can see the sunset out my window. Max says the sunset looks really nice from over at their workplace. Because since the time change, the sun sets here at like 5 o'clock. It's very gross. really, because the top window on my window here is really, like, the outside of it is really gross, so I can't really, it's like foggy on the outside, but not actually foggy, like perma-foggy. $7:18 and 4:31. Those are the sunset sunrise times for you. Let's see. What time does the sun rise and set? 6:19 and 4:43. Sunrise is at 6:19 a.m. and sunset is at 4:43 p.m. Which isn't true. The sun's not down yet, and it's after that. It's 4:48. The sun's not quite down yet. It's almost there. This must be a different part of Nashville. So. Sun sets at 4:30 for y'all right now. That's kind of gross. You're also a bit further north than me, so that explains the shorter days, because y'all are a little bit more north than we are in Nashville, so a little bit. By a little bit, I mean a lot more north, which creates shorter days being farther north. So, yeah, I don't like the fact that I'm going to be driving to work in the dark. That's kind of gross. When I first went to, the first time I went to scoop the protein powder stuff into my smoothie, I was like reading the information about it, like the nutritional information. And I was like, how could a scoop of this have so many calories in it? And then I scooped it out and dumped it into the blender, and I was like, oh, that's a lot. That's a lot of powder. Never mind. I take it back. I understand now. Am I the asshole? Husband is completely delusional. I've got my flags ready. Okay. To preface, I love him to death. He's a great man and husband, but he will never take accountability for not doing what needs to be done. He believes that his way of thinking is valid, even when it is not. Okay, are you talking about my father? This is probably exactly how my mom would describe my dad. My husband had plans to travel for work and to have his out-of-town colleagues stay in our home for 2 nights on the day he comes back. He told me about this 2 to 3 weeks prior. He left on Tuesday morning, coming back Thursday evening. I told him that I would get the entire house ready for his guest and that the only thing I ask of him is to get the guest room ready. Over the past couple of weeks, I would keep reminding him to get the guest room ready as I am deep cleaning the house on top of cooking meals, taking care of our dog, and doing laundry. Mind you, I work full-time and also happen to be out of town for work on Monday and Tuesday. I got home late last night and went straight to bed. I woke up this morning and called him, asked if he got the guest room ready before he left town. He was very hesitant to answer the question, so I decided to check on the room myself. It was not ready. And in fact, he had dumped some of his old stuff on the bed that he intended on donating. The bed wasn't made, old boxes and wrappers from his purchases thrown everywhere, and vacuuming hadn't been done. The only task I asked him to do for his guests was to just get the room ready. Here's what I would have done. I'm not going to read the rest of it yet. I'm going to read it in a minute. I would have just left it that way. And then when the friend got there, I would have said, I'm so sorry. I told my husband to get this part ready. I took care of the rest of the house. It was his job to take care of this room. I'm so sorry. Embarrass the fuck out of your stupid ass fucking husband. Then maybe next time you won't do it. Because this is unacceptable behavior from a grown ass adult man. Okay? Unacceptable. You asked him to take care of one room, and he left it in shambles. That's on him. He gets to be embarrassed now. You can pretend like you didn't know that he didn't fix it. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. My husband told me he was going to take care of this room. I'm so sorry. Alright. The only task I asked him to do for his guest was to just get the room ready. Then he says it's something that I need to do since he's the one working and that there hasn't been enough time. Again, I work full-time and was out of town on Monday and Tuesday, past few weekends. He's been doing nothing but wake up at noon, watch football, and drink with friends. Obviously, I'm frustrated. I basically told him that there's nothing he can say to make this okay because all I'm hearing from him at this point are excuses to try to justify himself leaving all the household duties on his wife. I also told him that it's not the 1950s anymore, and that the idea of a housewife died when women started to go work full-time. I ended the phone call with something like, I don't know who you think I am, but if you think I'm going to do everything for you like your mom, you may as well go back home because I am not the one. He then started to gaslight me, calling me dramatic, that I always have a stick up my ass when he's out of town, and that I should have done it if I had the time to do, I cannot read. That I always have a stick up my ass when he's out of town, and that I should have done it if I had all the time to bitch and cry about the room to him over the past few weeks. There's more said and done to this scenario, but this post summarizes the interaction. Am I the asshole for being incredibly frustrated and stressed out that he wouldn't do this one task for his guest, prioritize his responsibilities, or am I overreacting and should just clean and set up the guest room after I've deep cleaned our 2,000 square foot home over the past 2 weeks after work and over the weekends? The fact she needs to ask proves he's gaslighting her. Yeah, I agree.
In the bin, in the bin, in the bin, into the bin.
Into the bin. Into the bin with him. It doesn't sound like he says she's got a stick up her ass. I think she needs to go someone else's dick up her ass because this man clearly does not deserve it. I'm just saying. Not the asshole, let him drown. He isn't delusional. He knows what he's doing. He believes it's your job and that you will do it eventually. He never intended to clean that room. You should have believed that the room was ready as he told you it would be and let him figure it out. After dividing chores and agreeing, stop thinking for him. Do your part and let him figure it out. Let him drown made me laugh. Not the asshole, don't you dare touch that room. Your husband needs to do it. If it's still not done when the guest gets there, make sure to tell them your husband was just too busy to get it done. Open the bedroom door for the guest and immediately say, I'm so sorry, husband told me he would get this room ready. Yeah, I play this up a bit more. OP should welcome the guest at the front door, say how much husband was looking forward to hosting, and husband insisted on preparing the guest room himself, and then let the guests help themselves upstairs. OP should play ignorant as if she hasn't seen the room, and continue on with excellent hosting in the main part of the house. If husband complains, she should gasp and explain, oh honey, I would never double check your work. I have so much respect for you and know you're a man of your word. Absolutely. Leave the room as it is. Book yourself a hotel for the 2 nights his colleague will be staying at your home. Tell him if he can invite overnight guests without your input, he can certainly take care of them without your help. Please tell me you did not clean the room. I will be so disappointed if you did. Hell no, I didn't clean the room, and I won't unless something is in it for me. One thing I don't do is back down on my word, so I'll keep my end of the bargain and have the house ready, but the room was all on him. He called me about an hour ago to apologize and then asked if I would please do it. I accepted the apology but said I'd do it for $300 or he can hire a cleaning maid service to have it done. But I will have to arrange for someone to get our nosy dog while the service is going on. I may be stubborn, but I can negotiate. Oh, that's good. The fact that she needs that. Yep, I read that already. I love that you love my stubborn nature. We got some red flags finally, guys. Fuck off, Amazon. Stop notifying me about things that aren't my packages being delivered. I need Amazon to understand that I won't be taking extra shifts unless I'm forced to. I need them to understand that. Although, the paycheck I got for last week... Oh, I gotta look into that. I need to see if my bank finally accepted the money in so I can send Max the money I owe them for this week. I'm giving Max $600 this week because I want to get the amount that I owe them to a, so I can pay in increments of 500 from here on. No, it's not been approved yet, so I'll have to wait till that's... I don't like to send mass amounts of money like that until I'm 100% sure, because like the money that the paycheck is still pending in my bank account because it was an early pay. So technically I could send it over and it'd be fine, but I don't like doing that because I don't want to risk my bank account getting really mad at me. So, but I got paid $790 for last week. The fuck? I wouldn't know how it was so much more than the prior one, because I believe I worked the same amount of hours this week. Actually, I think I worked less, because I didn't use PTO for all of it like I did before. I'm not complaining. I'll absolutely take the $800. The fuck? Wow, okay. Just looking at the number again is just blowing my mind. Because the last big paycheck, the last work week where I had to work an extra day was just over $700. So like it was $200 more than my normal week's paycheck. Whereas this one is like almost $300 more than my normal week's paycheck. That's fucking crazy. That's just fucking crazy. Crazy. But I want to pay $600 right now because I owe Max at the moment. The amount of money I owe Max is $3,100. So I want to get it down to $2,500 so that way I can pay in $500 increments just to make life easier. Because I pay rent once a month of $600. So especially while right now I'm getting paid all this extra money for all the extra hours I have to work, that's the perfect way to do that. That each week I pay Max $500 after I get paid, unless I need to keep the $500 that week for like other expenses like groceries and gas and all that stuff. So, but I'll pay in $500 increments after this one, with the once a month $600 payment instead of the $500 payment for rent instead of for paying back the money that I owe. So I want to get it down to $2,500 so then I can pay in 500s and it be nice and even instead of having an extra $100 in there that just looks really stupid and ugly. That is the plan. All of my money will be going into Max's pocket. Because at the moment I have very empty pockets. And then once I get Max paid off, I'm going to use my next big paycheck after that to buy an Xbox, and then I will start throwing money into my savings. So that is my plan for my monies for the next little bit of time. Ideally, I'll have Max paid off before the end of the year, end of the calendar year. That would be really nice. I don't know if that's possible. Because after this week, I'll have 5 payments of 500 left. Right? Yeah, I'll have 5 payments of 500 left. So in theory, I'd be able to pay Max off by the end of the year. That'd be fabulous. Because it's only the second week of November. Yeah. So this week, I'm paying Max 600, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. I should have Max paid off before I have to pay the next rent payment. Well, no, I have a rent payment this month as well. So actually, Yeah, no, I should still have max paid off before the next rent payment. That'd be great. That'd be amazing. True. I should get some of my taxes back as well. Once we do taxes next year, I should get a decent amount of my taxes back. I don't know the price pre-taxes because I've not looked at it because it just makes me sad. But I don't like seeing how much of my money goes into taxes, knowing that my taxes don't do shit. Like, if I lived over in the UK where I know my taxes go into places like the NHS, I feel like I'd feel less shitty about $200 of my income going into taxes every week. Because that actually, you know, helps people and helps me as well because I know other people are paying for my healthcare. But because I don't have a damn clue where most of my taxes go in this stupid ass country, I hate how much money comes out of my check each week. So I just don't look. I have no idea how much taxes comes out of my check. I don't have a clue. So yeah. Free from the Max dictatorship. I don't know if it's a dictatorship. Max is, it's not a dictatorship. It's the Bank of Max. I will be financially free from the Bank of Max. So Max has been essentially a bank loaning me money for a while. So a large amount will be going to Ukraine at the minute, which is fine. Ukraine needs it more than I do. Ukrainians specifically need it more than I do, but the country of Ukraine needs it more as well. But yeah, Max is it's the Bank of Max without interest. So that's the best part about the Bank of Max is there's no interest. That's the best part. So okay. Am I the asshole for calling my future sister-in-law an idiot after she asked me to talk to my brother about changing the name of his boat? This is very weird. Pretty much what the title says. I, 28 female, and my brother, J, 39 male. My brother is engaged to D, 37 female. We grew up in a coastal town, and boating is something all of us siblings enjoy, especially J. He has his own boat that he renamed after his girlfriend died. Her name wasn't particularly common, but there is a famous painting. Dee recently started talking about how she's been asking Jay to change the name of the boat, but he doesn't want to. I didn't put much thought into it since it's not my place until a couple of days ago. My parents invited all of us for dinner. After a bit, Dee pulled me aside and asked if I could talk to Jay about changing the name of the boat. She said because it's a unique name, people would ask, and then what would she say? I said literally no one asks about boat names, even if they do say the truth or tell them it's after the painting. She kept pushing, saying that Jay needs to understand that they're going to build a life together now and to talk to him, and maybe he'd listen to his little sister. I got annoyed and told her she was an idiot, and my brother's with her now and it's just a name. Dee got mad and said she thought I'd be more supportive of her, and she now knows her place in the family. I really don't think I said anything wrong, but Dee clearly thought otherwise. Nah, Dee is just a bitch. I think he needs to not marry her. Not the asshole, she needs to stop being so insecure. It's just a boat. There's literally no threat to her. Your brother needs to strongly consider how much energy he wants to put into such a needy woman. It's a boat. It's a boat. Whoop-de-da. It's not like he has her name tattooed on his forehead. Not the asshole, she's literally just jealous of a dead ex-girlfriend. Plus, since it's a unique name, it's even better. Imagine he just named the boat Jessica or something. That's like, this way it's artistic in a way. Pretty sure no one is going to ask why a boat is called Mona Lisa unless they live under a rock. Yeah. Really? Amazing. His girlfriend's legal name was Starry Night. Iconic. That's iconic. Iconic. Okay, I want to look at a different one. I can't spell. Hold on. I don't know why I'm typing it wrong every single time. Ooh. Okay. We'll read a few of these and then we'll call it a day. I quite like the malicious compliance ones because it's usually very petty, and I love me some petty. Boss told me I couldn't take a smoke break if I wasn't smoking. I first started working at 17 as a household keeper, cleaning condos in downtown Toronto. It wasn't a bad gig. The building was under construction, finishing units and such, so there was quite a bit of dust, but other than that, it was a fairly easy job, and at the time, I was getting above minimum wage. I was the only cleaner in the building, but I was good friends with the security guards and would hang out with them on most of my breaks. They were all smokers, and I noticed that they were taking small breaks, so if I happened to be near them when they were taking a smoke break, I would hang out with them. My boss was a sweet guy, but he did casually mention that smoke breaks are for smokers only, and I couldn't just hang out with them. Next break I sat down with the security guards, and they joked that I should just have a cigarette in my hand and not actually smoke it. That's why I decided to be a little bit creative with my malicious compliance. The next day, I came into work with a small pack of sparklers. I kept them in my pocket, and when I saw the security guards taking a smoke break, I went out with them and pulled out a sparkler, lit it up, and just kind of stood there with them as the sparkler went off. We all had a good chuckle about it. The boss saw me and came outside probably to talk to me about not taking a smoke break if I wasn't a smoker, but he saw the sparkler in my hand, and the security guard pointed out that technically I was smoking as the sparkler was producing bits of smoke. The boss laughed it off, apologized, and said that as long as I get my work done, I can take smoke breaks with the others, with or without the sparklers. I always thought if smokers get a 15-minute smoke break, the rest of us should get a 15-minute break to cry in our cars. To start crying, they'll probably send you to your car. That's funny. Okay, so I don't know what these things mean, so I don't know what these mean. So I don't know if it means mature, but I guess we'll find out. Gave a customer care agent an honest rating. He emailed me to request I give him a fair rating. I complied. I have been waiting for a return parcel to be collected, going on 3 days. In South Africa, we don't leave anything outside as it will be stolen. You have to be present to collect or give a parcel. I logged the return on a Saturday and received a message that they will collect it before 5 p.m. on a Monday. I had a doctor's appointment, so I requested the driver to come later. He gave me such attitude and never pitched. I received the same message for Tuesday, only no driver at all. I received a message that they tried to collect from me, but it failed. They did not even come. Now it's a second day gone where I have had to wait around for a driver to not pitch. It's now day 3 and I'm livid. The message about the fake attempt sent me over. I contacted the company and complained, and the agent sent me the same damn message about it being collected before 5 p.m. that I've already sent. I felt like he didn't take my complaint seriously or understood why I can't wait around all day anymore. 3 days of not being able to run errands, worrying about meetings being interrupted. I offered to change the option to dropping it off, but they refused. So when the email to give feedback arrived, I gave them a bad report. I felt he didn't take the complaint seriously, and that the least they could have done was ensure the driver arrived first thing to collect or give me an ETA. He then emailed me to tell me my feedback wasn't fair and that I should give a more fair feedback, as he feels he did his best to help me. Just by emailing me the same message I'd already received 3 times. So I complied. I gave him the feedback he deserved. His best. How is telling me the same thing I've been told for 3 days now the best? The best would be to get off his ass, pick up the phone, and send the driver to my address first thing. He could have taken the attitude the driver gave me seriously and apologized for it and for the delay. He did not. He could have understood that I couldn't put my life on pause for a 3rd day to wait for a driver, and at least gotten an ETA from the driver. Like, yeah. I also changed the feedback heading from issue unresolved to agent has a bad attitude. Okay, Phil posted this video. Okay. The check to tell me to give me a more fair review when my initial one wasn't even unfair was over the top, so he got an even more fair one. I just wanted my parcel collected, my refund processed, so I can buy another item to replace it. Why a driver has to cause so much drama, only he will know, and now an agent has made it worse. Said agent has not emailed me since. However, within an hour, the driver picked it up. Outcome accomplished. Was I being a Karen? Yeah. Do I care? No. It was not unnecessary, and I will complain, and the complaint was warranted. But today I got petty, and yes, his job is at risk, but maybe now he will understand what actually doing his best really means. I'm glad we don't have to deal with that here. If it gets stolen off my porch, it gets stolen off my porch, but you need to drop that shit off. I'd really prefer it if they knocked when they dropped off packages. Especially, like, non-Amazon delivery people, because Amazon immediately notifies you when it gets dropped at your door, because they usually have to take a picture to prove that they delivered it. But like UPS, USPS, FedEx, they like never knock when they drop something at your door, and it's like, this could literally have been sitting here for hours while I was sitting on my couch because I didn't know it was delivered. Like, this is so stupid. Like, that's so much time for someone to come by and grab it when I'm literally sitting on my couch 10 feet from the door. So, you know. Yeah, it doesn't say what it means. Oh, okay. Oh, did I close the other thing? Oops. Okay. Oh, 2 hours, guys. We hit 2 hours today. Max said they're probably going to call USPS tomorrow to inquire about picking up the packages. So I'll let Max do that. Because I don't want to have to make phone calls. And if Max isn't able to do it through phone calls, we can submit claims together. But if Max is just going to call him, that'll probably be easier anyways. So I'll let Max do the phone calling, because y'all know I don't do that shit. I don't do it. I'd rather go through a haunted mansion. No thanks. No thank you. Oh, I should have... Petty revenge is what I should have gone to. Let's do that. Let's do a petty revenge post instead. Okay. Okay, let's go to top. This week. Suspected to be fake. Damn. Ooh, this should be spicy. Okay. My dad is kicking me out. I am leaving a gift. His long-distance girlfriend is moving in December from overseas, and because my father is a liar, she falsely believes that my room was used by his ex and that she had since moved out. The truth is that they were sharing his bed until last week while I lived in the other room. And so to keep up the ruse, he told me yesterday that I had 2 weeks to clear out my room, take my belongings, and leave no trace of my existence behind in the apartment. His girlfriend is apparently a clean freak, and my dad is desperate to make a good impression, hence me getting kicked out. So right before I leave, there's going to be an accidental spill of tuna juice on the living room rug, and there will be honey and sugar in inconspicuous corners. I think the ants will love it. Hopefully the tuna juice will go bad and make the whole place slowly stink over the course of several weeks for no reason, and hopefully my dad will be embarrassed and miserable. I am a broke college student. I pay for studies myself. My dad was a cheating deadbeat growing up. We had a deal that I could move in with him and stay until I graduate. No, I can't tell his girlfriend without putting my physical safety on the line, even secret attempts. Otherwise, I 100% would. I think what he's doing is awful. My father is purging the apartment and my room when I'm gone, so anything for her to find wouldn't work, nor would something that stinks immediately. Yes, my dad is a dick. It's a long-established fact. Yes, I'm being petty. That's sort of the point. That's the point of the subreddit. Also, thank you for the outpouring of support and kindness. You guys are diabolical and made me cackle. Makes me feel better about the shitty situation I'm in. Okay. Spill it twice, once where he can see it, and once under the sofa so he constantly cleans the wrong spot, and it still fucking stinks. Spill it in the air vents every time they turn on the heat. It reeks out the entire apartment. Slices of lemon under the bottom drawers of the dresser. As they decompose, they won't stink, but they will attract fruit flies and house flies, and it'll be a massive pain in the ass for them to figure out what's attracting the pests. Ooh. Spicy. Short, medium, long. Okay, could be. That would make sense. Pregnancy test under the bin bag in the bin. If you can find a positive one, all the better. Chop up some raw shrimp and hide it well. They'll have to move. This is my kind of subreddit right here. I can't type. I just had to send 3 different correction texts because I can't type. I always thought there were better subreddits to read. Also, the more recognizable ones on YouTube, yeah. Okay, we're picking all the grapes. My parents rent a house on a fourth of an acre of land. The land with rows of grapes is not being rented to my parents, but the landlord lets us pick them and juice them every year. The only access to the grapes is through the land my parents rent. Before my parents moved in, this old lady, Maureen, weird name to put in there, but okay, used to pick the grapes with her family and juice them. As a side note, Maureen has her own grapes, but she likes to use our landlord's grapes too because previous tenants did not. Every fucking year, it's a battle to make Maureen wait to pick grapes so we can pick a share. The landlord has been clear that we get first dibs on the grapes because we're his actual tenants. We always leave her at least a row, 1 of 4, every year. She tries to be a sneaky little bitch and get the grapes, but this year was the worst. My mom told Maureen that she was going to pick the grapes, Every year she tries to be a little sneaky little bitch. I love that. But this year was the worst. My mom told Maureen that she was going to pick the grapes this weekend. Well, this weekend came and went without being able to pick grapes. My mom's helper crew got sick. My dad was recovering from major surgery, and she couldn't find the time or energy. Maureen's crotchety old ass calls to inform my mom that she is coming tomorrow to pick all the grapes we didn't. My mom asked her to please wait a few more days as her husband, my dad, has cancer, and her helpers were sick. Maureen responds, "That's too bad. You had your chance. My family is coming tomorrow. We are picking the grapes." Of course, my poor mom loses it at this point and begins screaming. You call yourself a Christian? Maureen continues telling her she had her chance. So my mom came in and told me this story, and I said, absolutely not. We are staying up as late as needed to pick every single grape off those vines, every single one. We both called up as many friends as we could. The troops were being gathered. We now have about 10 people to help us pick the grapes. We will pick every single grape so that when stupid Marina and her stupid family show up, there will not be one little fruit left on the vine. All-nighter for the grapes. I love how many of you would help pick grapes. It makes me feel bad about the fact that the update isn't super satisfying. Maureen called my mom last night an hour or two so into picking to apologize and said we could have all the grapes. My mom, being a much better person than I am, told her she can still have a row or two because we didn't need all the grapes, but Maureen kept saying no, that she won't come by at all. Ironically, it almost sounded like she was throwing a fit about it. Like, bitch, we're being nice and still letting you come, so we did pick grapes, but not everything. We still hate Maureen. Apparently, she's 92, and she believes she will live forever because of her homemade grape juice, so that's one reason she's so crazy about this whole thing. Maybe she will live forever, but that would be unfortunate because she's an asshole. That sort of person, yeah. Motion activated sprinklers would keep her cooled off. Okay, I really want to read this one. This one's a very intriguing title. Guy potentially ruined his life for telling me to kill myself. I'm not entirely sure how correct this story is for the subreddit, but it might fit. I work for an IT company that does tech support. We received calls for help. We tried to help. Jimmy, relatable. This guy called up asking for help to remove a piece of software that requires administrator rights. Pretty standard, nothing special. However, the computer he was requesting help with was his own personal computer. Obviously, we don't have access or control over random people's computers. I have zero way I can help him without the admin account, and he said he doesn't know the account. The software was some kind of parental management software that restricts him from doing things. This guy's in his early 20s. I know this because we can see details of people that call in our system, so kind of hilarious that he has this software installed. Anyway, after I tell him that I cannot help him, he ends up telling me that I work for a trash company and I should kill myself. I didn't even respond, and he hangs up the phone. Now, obviously, the calls are recorded, and I'm not going to just ignore what just happened. I tell my manager the story. He listens to the phone call. My manager then calls the liaison for the company he called from. They find out that this guy is an intern at the company. He now no longer works for the company. During the call, they decide to get the CEO on the phone and tell him what happened. Shortly after the call, the CEO let us know that he called the university the guy is currently going to. The university has now dropped him from all his classes. This guy has now lost his intern job, his placement at the university, all because he told me to kill myself on the phone. Amazing. Justice. Yeah, he sounded like a kid when I hear kids playing COD. We had a client get so mad, said he was going to come and blow up our building if we didn't fix the issue that day. The poor phone support person was so upset. We fired the client the same day. I feel your pain. I'm glad you escalated them. Sounds like we discovered why he had parental locks. Wife tries to help another woman having credit card issues. Yeah, same. I'd be like, no, I'm good today, actually. Maybe tomorrow, but not today. I'm alright. See, I'm the type of person that's like, if I die today, I die today. But I'm not going to take that matter into my own hands. That sounds like a lot of effort. You know what I mean? Like, unaliving yourself just sounds like so much work, and I just don't have the energy. But if someone kills me in a drunk driving accident or something, if I die, that's fine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of how I look at life. Like, if I die, then I die. That's just how it works. You know what I mean? Like, no big deal. You know what I mean? If you let things get to you that easily, you should not have a customer interaction. If you let things get to you that easily, you should not be on the internet or work in any sort of retail or any sort of job that requires customer interaction, because that will be a semi-daily experience for you if you do either of those things or both of those things. Would not recommend, personally. Don't take food that doesn't belong to you. When I worked at a smallish private college in the financial aid office, food theft was a major issue. Once I set up a really nice strawberry shortcake spread for one of the gals' birthdays, along with a note that said, "For blank's birthday, please don't touch. We will share after we celebrate." In the 10 minutes it took her to finish with her student and to gather the rest of the department in the break room, some asshole had hacked into it and tossed my note in the trash. Another time during a super busy registration season, we ordered out Chinese food. I put my leftover noodles and rice in the fridge, labeled with my name. The next day, the only thing left was plain rice. Some jerk had taken the leftovers that I had eaten out of, no less. Since it was such a busy time, and that was my planned lunch, that meant no lunch for me. Wonderful. I was pissed and decided to get even. Picked up an order of the same noodles, ate half, spit in it, mixed in hair and dirt with tiny bits of gravel, put it in the fridge label that said, "Not yours, don't eat." I hope the jerk got valley fever and broke a tooth. I was very happy to see it gone the following evening. I'm glad that at Amazon we don't have this issue, because there's tons of like fridges and stuff up front and in all the different break rooms that you can put your food in, and I've never once had an issue with anyone stealing anything. I've never heard of anyone having any issues with other people stealing things, so that's never been an issue, which is really nice. You don't even have to label it with your name. People they only touch the stuff that's theirs, so that's really nice. Like, I bought Subway one day going into work, which I'll probably actually do tomorrow as well, because it actually worked out really nicely, because there's a Subway. I drive right past the Subway, like, 2 minutes before I get to the warehouse, so it works out perfectly. It was literally just a Subway bag with a sandwich in it. I didn't have my name on it or anything. I just stuck it in the fridge, and it was still there when I got back. Same exact place. It was perfect. My ear itches. Ah! Suffering. Expensive lunch. Not really. When I buy lunch at work, it's the same price, so it's about the same exact cost as getting the Subway sandwich, and the Subway sandwich is both better for me and more filling than the stuff I buy at work, so it's only like $6 or something for the sandwich, so it's not that big of a deal. So yeah, it's an expensive lunch. It's cheaper if I take food with me, but we don't always have time to cook every weekend, so, you know, it'd be what it be. And I get paid enough that it's not really that big of a deal, so. Alright, I think I'm actually going to call it here for the day. We're at about 2.5 hours, so it seems like a good spot to stop. I'm used to $3.50 for a snack, drink, and sandwich. That's nice. I usually, like, end up having to buy, like, what are they called? Hot Pockets. I usually end up having to buy a Hot Pocket or something from work, because it's like all they have that's filling for me. So I usually buy 2 of those. I take chips with me. So all right, that is it for the week. I will see you all on Monday for some more Spider-Man, probably. I'll let you know if anything changes between now and then, as usual. Thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate you very much. I hope this was entertaining, and I will see you all next week. Have a great weekend and a rest of your week. Goodbye.